Hello, my name is Eli Silago, and this is my native SOAR journey. Firstly, let me introduce myself. Yate, Eli Silago yenishe hatso nishle, iskani bashichin, tachini dashiche, kiani dashinala, akut ego dinasti nishe. Greetings, my name is Eli Silago, I am of the Meadow People clan, I am born for Mountain Cove people. My maternal grandfathers are Red Running Into the Water clan, my paternal grandfathers are the Towering House clan. That is how I met the name man. I am from Pino, New Mexico. I graduated from Wingate High School and now attend the University of Arizona as a computer science major. This semester, I joined Native SOAR to expand my knowledge on different perspectives on Native American values and institutional comparisons. What is Native SOAR? When we look at the specifics from the University of Arizona's website, it says the College of Education's Native Student Outreach, Access, and Resiliency, SOAR, is a nationally recognized, high-impact, multi-generational mentoring program culturally grounded in Indigenous teachings and ways of knowing. Outreach is the activity of providing services to any population that might not otherwise have access to those services. Access is the permission, liberty, or the ability to enter, approach, or pass to and from a place, or to approach or communicate with a person or thing. Lastly, resiliency is the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties. And toughness. These components can make a student soar among the others who may already have those things at the very start, according to the organization itself. The articles. Some of the articles that were part of this curriculum of this course were interesting, and somewhat a good way to think about the problems that are believed to be around today. However, I do not agree with everything that was brought up over the semester. Even so, that does not mean that not all the problems that were mentioned are not true. The 2022 article written by Touching, White Supremacy is something that is used a lot. I do not think it's the biggest problem when it comes to the institution of higher education. I believe the white supremacy is a dangerous ideology. What policy forbids me from doing something that a white person can do in the place of higher education? However, that does not mean that I totally disagree with every single point that Touching brought up. I believe that financial hardship is a systemic monster. It is something that I believe that needs to be fixed and handled in a very different way that could help everyone. In Gollery and Wolverton's article from 2008, handled the ideas of speculations of what is happening to the Native American community that is restraining the cultural aspects of traditions. Also, this article raises the issues of Native Americans not being represented enough in higher education. However, I would like to argue that the statistics of overall college enrollment placed Native Americans at 1% would not be surprising. The United States Native American population only makes up 2.9% of the overall population. This is a clear reflection of the amount of people that are in the US when comparing the percentage of things like the overall count. This is more of a proportional problem that can be addressed by promoting the value of education for students, by not turning the education system into the villain where students are stuck in an unfair trap. And now lastly, the article that I agree with the most is the Brayboy article that was written in 2005. I have seen many arguments for critical race theory, and I have had my fair share of debates about the topic. However, I think that this is a great way to expose students to the history of the culture and how things are subject to change. Community trip to Paskayaki Education Center. This was a nice trip that I think expanded my understanding of other reservations other than my own, and see the different cultural aspects that make this location unique and special. I love that I got to see the art, music, traditions, and even architecture that are preserved in a way for this tribe to remember. And I'm happy to see that many tribes in the US are doing what they can to preserve and teach the following generations. We also had pizza, so that was nice. My mentoring takeaway. The mentoring experience was like I was representing the idea of higher education for not only Native Americans, but also as a recent high school student. We all were Native American scholars who represented the goals that these high school students might have. There were moments where I felt like I was doing something that might have had an impact on these students' lives, for they are the reason that Native SOAR was made to begin with. From what I also saw was a community that was forming and getting involved to where we can laugh, learn, teach, and even trust about our own experiences as mentors and students in our daily lives. I pray that all of the students that were a part of this are going to be successful in everything that they do, and that they become the best version of themselves and be who they are. I can thank Native SOAR for allowing me to speak to the future scholars or workers or anything that they want to be of all cultures and allow me to express my ideas as well as opinions in class on certain topics that might have otherwise been silent in other places. Native SOAR.